get your attention here in the Indiana Ballroom so that we can start our program. Thank you so much. Now, we expect to be joined by a host of additional mayors, but we have our two honorees that have arrived, and we certainly want to get on with the program. We know that there is ferocious competition going on for your time and attention. But good evening, I am Mickey Ibarra, founder and chairman of the Latino Leaders Network. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And on behalf of our board of directors, it's my pleasure to welcome the mayors, our special guests, sponsors, community leaders who have joined us tonight. Now, this tribute to mayors is convened during both the winter meeting of the United States Conference of Mayors as well as the summer meeting. The intent is to honor mayors who are bringing their communities together and including us, the Latino community. I love this award for many reasons, and one is every mayor in America is eligible. Tonight we convene the 25th Tribute to Mayors to honor two outstanding leaders who are indeed bringing their communities together. Please welcome our honorees, Mayor Buddy Dyer of Orlando and Mayor Ken Miyagashima of Las Cruces. Mayors. Thank you, thank you. But before continuing, I would like to address Mayor Dyer just briefly. You know, Mayor, please accept my condolences on behalf of the Latino Leaders Network for the tragedy you have endured in Orlando. You know that we selected you for this award months ago. And there is no doubt that we made the right selection. I want you all to know, and if you've heard it before, that's okay. Sometimes repetition is a good thing. And that is that Mayor Dyer established the One Orlando Fund to help his community heal. It has raised over $8 million to date, and all of you can help by simply going online at oneorlando.org to do what you can to be helpful to the community of Orlando and the victims there. Thank you, Mayor, for your leadership, for your compassion and assistance in responding to the many victims of this senseless, truly national tragedy. And at this time now, I do want to recognize, before we continue, some other mayors and special guests in the audience. First, joining me from our board of directors, Ruben Alvarez from Phoenix, Arizona. Ruben, thank you. Mayor Hancock will be on the program here momentarily, but please give a shout out here for Mayor Hancock of Denver, who we honored last year. Yes. We talked earlier. Don't get lost, Mayor Hancock. Come on up here a little bit. We also want to thank Mayor Pulido, a past honoree as well from Santa Ana, who's with us. Mayor. And again, continuing with past honorees, we also have former mayor of Albuquerque, three-term mayor of Albuquerque, Marty Chavez with us. Marty. Now we may have some additional mayors join us, and we'll recognize them a bit later in the program. But I also wanted to recognize Latino mayors that are in this room. It's been a great privilege and honor to work with all of our nation's mayors. And I've been particularly pleased to see the growing number of Latino mayors. This year, there was a significant step forward for Latino mayors in our country with the announcement of the creation of a Latino Alliance of the United States Conference of Mayors. We started this event 12 years ago. Now we have a Latino Alliance. And I want to recognize one of the leaders, really one of the movers and shakers. You really got to have those kind of folks behind you to get something done. Mayor Jorge Elorza of Providence is with us. Mayor. We also have Mayor Luigi Borilla of Doral, who's with us. I got a chance to say hello just a bit ago. There you go. And then also we have Mayor Jose Segarra of Killeen, Texas. It's here too. Okay? Again, Latino mayors. I also have a dear friend and a terrific leader in her own right. And in fact, one of them, we've met long ago, but she also served, I remember, as the executive assistant for Mayor Lee Brown of Houston. State representative from Texas now, from Houston, Carol Alvarado. Carol? Yeah. This morning at 10 a.m. at the Columbia Club, I had the privilege of meeting with several Latino leaders from the Indianapolis community. Loved it, loved it. And we have several of them with us today. Three I want to acknowledge. Oscar Gutierrez, who's the comptroller of the city of Fishers. Oscar, where are you hiding at? Okay, over here. Thank you. And also Gustavo Escalante, who's the Hispanic Council Manager of the Indianapolis Chamber of Commerce. There we go. Thank you, Gustavo. And then a really terrific leader of this community, but more than that, of the state of Indiana, Marlene Dotson, who's the president and CEO of the Indiana Latino Institute. Thank you. There's Latinos wherever we go in this country. And that makes me so proud. We're expecting Mayor Rawlings Blake to join us for greetings from the U.S. Conference of Mayors. I don't see her here yet. She's got a lot on her mind right now as president of this conference. Again, before we get to the awards, a brief word from our sponsors. As mayors in this room understand, and other community leaders, so much good happens because corporations step forward to help get it done. And the Latino Leaders Network is no exception. It would be impossible for us to gather together tonight without the help of corporate America. And we have two terrific sponsors that we've asked to offer a few comments, and that first being Bank of America, who is the premier sponsor of this event, yes, but also last January when it convened in our nation's capital. And we have asked, and we'll receive remarks from Georgina Maybach, who is Client and Business Management Executive 2 of the Global Wealth and Investment Management, and she will deliver our premier sponsor remarks. Thank you. Georgina.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mickey, for the introduction. On behalf of Bank of America, we welcome you and we thank you for joining us at the Latino Leaders Network reception. I'd like to congratulate Mayor Dyer and Mayor Migishima from Las Cruces in leadership in driving a diverse culture. We thank you very much for your dedication. I'd also like to recognize Mayor Rawlings Blake and our Mayor Hogsett from Indianapolis. Just an outstanding conference. Indianapolis really is just a great city. We understand the importance of local impact, and we greatly appreciate what all the mayors do in the United States to really help and drive that culture. Bank of America's purpose is to deliver and make financial lives better for our customers and clients. And one of those things that we do is local engagement and investment, both capital and philanthropic. In light of the tragedy in Orlando, Bank of America has sponsored donations for the One Orlando Fund, whose mission is to support victims and their families, as well as LGBT, Hispanics, and the faith communities. Our market and state presidents are highly engaged in the cities that they cover. They are focused in addressing the needs of our customers, nonprofit partners, and clients. As an executive sponsor of the Hispanic Organization for Leadership and Advancement, as well as a council member for Bank of America's U.S. Latino Leadership Executive Council, we are delighted to be a great partner. And we are focused in really delivering for the 10 million Hispanic and Latino clients that we serve each day in our banks. Internally, our Hispanic Alliance Organization for Leadership and Advancement, which we call OLA, is committed to making our company the best place to work for all of our Hispanic and Latino employees. The OLA Employee Network is over 30 chapters in our organization with over 10,000 employees across the country, focused on recruiting, personal development, business strategies, and of course, our communities. It's about making a difference, investing in the things that make us strong, collectively, one, moving forward, but more importantly, focused on our customers, our employees, as well as our communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Georgina, and thanks to Bank of America. We've had an additional Latino mayor join us, and I want to recognize Javier Gonzalez, the mayor of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Javier. And by the way, Javier is also a former county official, in fact, served as, I believe, the first Latino mayor, the first Latino president of the National Association of Counties, NACO. So we're glad to have you here with us. Now, our co-sponsor remarks will be delivered, again, that is Walmart, will be delivered by Javier Angulo out of Los Angeles. Thank you. Who is the Director of Public Affairs and Government Relations, again for Walmart, our co-sponsor. Javier?
Hi, good evening. I actually almost didn't make it. I didn't realize I was this late, but I'm glad I did. You too. So on behalf of the entire Walmart team, I just want to thank Miki once again for inviting us to be a co-sponsor of this event. It's always special to be here, Miki, and we always appreciate being with all the mayors at this very special event. I would first like to congratulate tonight's honorees, Mayors Buddy Dyer and Ken Miyagishima, for their leadership in Orlando and Las Cruces. But before I continue, I'd like to take a moment to express my sincere, heartfelt condolences to Mayor Dyer and to the people of Orlando. That horrific evening, I was at a Latino gay club in Los Angeles celebrating with friends and loved ones. At about midnight, we heard about a shooting at a gay club in Orlando, but at that time, we really didn't understand the extent of the situation until that morning. 49 mostly young gay Latinos perished by an act of hate and cowardice. We were devastated and our hearts deeply broken. This news hit very close to home despite the distance between us, not only because many of the victims were young or Latino, or because most were gay, lesbian, or transgender members of our family. It was also because these nightclubs are more than just places to drink and dance for us. They are safe havens for our community, a place where we can socialize free of judgment. This incident's a gross violation to our psyche. Going to a nightclub will never be the same. Thank you, Mayor Dyer, for your compassion, leadership, and your support for the LGBT community. Thank you. I'm also proud to work for a company that takes leadership in supporting its associates. For example, the day after the Orlando terror attack, Walmart activated its emergency response center team to first confirm that the safety of our associates in Orlando, then to support the emergency response personnel by providing pallets of water, food, and medical supplies to police stations and hospitals. And this is all part of Walmart's commitment to supporting our associates. Last year at this same event, I shared the news of Walmart's 2-year, $2.7 billion investment in our workers. I mentioned that our associates will get a pay raise. And earlier this year, in February, Walmart implemented one of the largest single-day private sector pay increases ever, benefiting more than 1.1 million associates. In addition to pay raises, Walmart invested in a new short-term disability program at no cost for full-time hourly associates. The plan offers more financial protections to workers who need to be away from work for an extended period of time due to their own medical needs, such as illness, injury, or having a baby. And I also mentioned that Walmart would launch a new simplified paid time off policy for full and part-time associates. This new policy, also launched earlier this year, has streamlined paid vacation, sick time, personal time, and holiday time into one category. And that one-day wait to use sick time has been eliminated, as we promised. Today, I want to share more about a lesser-known program that is significant, but perhaps didn't get the same attention as our wage and benefit initiatives. And that is Walmart's commitment to educating and training our associates. As part of this commitment, Walmart has opened 3 training academies with the idea to create a program that brings together department managers from the area for up to 2 weeks of structured training. The plan is to open more than 200 academies by the end of 2017, training an estimated 140,000 associates annually. In the end, it's about putting people in a position to advance and succeed, not only in their own careers inside Walmart, but outside as well. In addition to upskilling our associates, this training will create an outstanding shopping experience for the customers who shop with us every day. This combination of pay, education, and hard work is what transforms people's lives and helps them advance. We're proud to be leaders in this new world of retail. At Walmart, we believe that every company and every individual has the power to change the world. We're proud to join you, the mayors, and the Latino Leaders Network in taking action for this generation and generations to come. Congratulations, Mickey, on another great event, and thank you once again for having Walmart here with all of you.
Thank you, Javier, and thank you, Walmart. Now, there are some other sponsors I simply want to quickly acknowledge also, VIP sponsors that are here with us. Hudson News, Bobby Watson. Thanks to Hudson. We also have table tents, I think, here with logos on. HDR Inc., David Cobb is here with us. Thank you, David. We also have the ICSC. I think Cindy's here. I don't believe Herb Tyson was able to be with us here. Thank you, Cindy. E-Citation Coalition, we have Steve Rauschenberger, who's with us. There we go, right here. Thank you, Steve. And CH2M Hill, I wanted to recognize both Chris Thomas and Bob Bailey from Orlando, who's here. Okay, thank you, Bob. Okay, yeah. Oh, good. Thank you, Mayor. And one more thank you, and then we're going to turn to Mayor Stephanie Rawlings for USCM greetings. And that is, this year is the first year we've been able to also live stream all of these events. So 3,000 leaders across the country were notified 3 times about this live stream opportunity to hear our program. And I want to thank the Graffiti Resource Council who have made this live stream possible. Javena Nikumaram is here with us from the Resource Council, so thank you. Now, I want to give an opportunity to the president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. Stephanie Rawlings Blake is a former recipient of the Antonio Villaraigosa Leadership Award as well. And as president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, we look to her as our nation's mayor. And we're really delighted to have you with us here. Mayor? Thank you. Thank you.
Mickey, thank you so much, not just for the opportunity to give greetings today, but also for the award and for the partnership. You know, I value your leadership and shining a light on such great mayors. I know that everybody has very busy schedules, and I'm running off to my next event, but I would not miss an opportunity to say congratulations to 2 great mayors. Mayor Miyagashima, did I get it? Did I close? Almost? How are you? Close? Thank you. I try. I'm here to serve. And Mayor Buddy Dyer, both mayors are outstanding. Mayor Dyer did an amazing job in his presentation today. We are so proud of you. I think now more than ever, at a time where people are talking about all the things that separate us, they're talking about building walls and watch lists and all kinds of foolishness. I think it's more important than ever that the Latino Network is here, and that you are not just here, but you're powerful, because there's so much more that unites us than divides us. And when we stand together, understanding that, that's when we're at our best. I think that is when, as we learned today, love and compassion will win. So I wanted to stop by to say congratulations, to say it has been my honor to work with you. And it's funny, people are acting like, you step out of office and, you just like evaporate. I will be around, and I'm looking forward to participating far into the future. Thank you very much, Mickey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor, for being here with us. And now for our award presentations. Substituting for Antonio Villaraigosa tonight, who is out of the country, is Mayor Michael Hancock of Denver, who we honored in Washington last January. Mayor Hancock's remarks at the Mayflower were personal and powerful. They are available, by the way, for viewing on YouTube, as well as you can contact us for a transcript. When Antonio realized he was not going to be able to join us tonight, he reached out to Mayor Hancock immediately to seek his commitment for standing in for him tonight. Mayor Hancock didn't realize when he said yes that he also was going to be asked to go to Brazil by the governor, I believe. Well, he figured out how to do both. And he got back here in time, arriving this morning to be with us tonight. That's the kind of leader that Mayor Hancock really is. So please welcome our friend and past recipient of the Antonio Villaraigosa Leadership Award to the podium. He will present the award to Mayor Miyagashima, first followed by Mayor Dyer. Both honorees have been invited to also share remarks. Mayor Hancock, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Who says no to Mickey Ibarra? No one. And that's why I'm here tonight. And who says no to Antonio Villaraigosa? No one. And that's why I'm here tonight. So let's be very clear. No one substitutes for Antonio Villaraigosa. He happens to be in Paris tonight at a wedding for a very close friend. And so when he did, Mickey was correct when he called me. I said, oh, sure, I got you, Antonio. I'll do this. I'll be at the conference. I did not realize I was going to be in Brazil at the time. You never call a mayor directly. Never call a mayor directly. Because the answer is always going to be yes, and then he or she's going to screw it up. And did not realize I was scheduled to be in Brazil. But I was going to find a way to be here tonight, and I'm glad to be here tonight to honor these two very, very, very honorable, hardworking public servants and who are well-deserving the Villaraigosa Award. Let me just tell you, for those of you who don't know, Antonio Villaraigosa, who is a dear, dear friend, when I got the call from Mickey to tell me that I was receiving the award about a year ago, and that it would be presented in January in Washington, D.C. The fact that it came with the Antonio Villaraigosa's name was very, very emotional and powerful for me. Because I want you to know he was the first mayor when I was elected in spring of 2011 to call me and congratulate me on my election. He was the first mayor to fly to Denver, to take me to dinner in my city, and refuse to let me pay. I want to be very clear. Any other mayor wants to do that, I'm okay with it now in my city. But this is a gentleman who served admirably and diligently as mayor of Los Angeles, was a champion for cyclist rights and many other transportation issues, was a member of the Mayors Against Illegal Guns. He pursued making LA the safest big city in America. He expanded the police force in LA. In fact, he made LA, while under his leadership, LA's police department became the largest in LA's history. He was a champion of education and created a partnership of LA schools which focused on districts with lowest performing schools. Antonio Villaraigosa, I know, is proud of the two honorees that have been selected tonight, and so let's get with it. The first honoree tonight is Mayor Mia Gashima, who was sworn in as mayor of Las Cruces, New Mexico in November 2007 and was elected to a third term in 2015. While in office, his administration has focused on improving the quality of life in Las Cruces through updating infrastructure, providing more recreational facilities, and securing high-paying jobs within the city. In a city where 57% of the residents identify as Hispanic, Latino, Mayor Miyagashima has taken the lead on a number of issues that have benefited the Latino community, including raising the minimum wage, and protecting children's education from statewide budget cuts. Prior to his election as mayor, he served as 6 years on the city council and 8 years on the Don Ana County Board of Commissioners. While attending college, the mayor began his own insurance agency, which he still owns today. Mayor Miyagashima, accomplishments have been included in the publication Distinguished Asian American Political and Governmental Leaders. Our many thanks to you, Mayor Miyagashima, for your selfless service. You are a true inspiration to us all and well-deserving of the Antonio Villaraigosa Award.
Ruben, grab the, yeah. Come on up, Ruben. Here you go. Here, let me put that right here. Okay.
Where do I talk from, right there?
Up here.
All right.
Okay. Don't fall off.
I'll hold it.
Okay.
Okay.
Mayor, the microphone's yours.
Thanks, Mickey. Grab my water there. Almost look like Marco Rubio. You know, it's so funny. Of course, Secretary Clinton was in the House talking about insurance. So had to hold my arms up, and one of the Secret Service guys says, "Hey, so where'd you get that championship ring from? Which school?" I said, "Actually, I got it selling insurance, so it is, you know, it's an insurance." I said, I sold a lot of insurance for Farmers Insurance a long time ago. But anyway, so I have to tell you, a gentleman stopped me. He said, "Hey, what's up with your last name?" And he says, "Because you look Hispanic or Latino." And I said, "Well, let me explain." So my father's American of Japanese descent. My mom's American of Mexican descent. And my dad joined the Air Force in 1948, and his first assignment was in Alamogordo, New Mexico. So that's how he met my future grandfather, who subsequently, how he met my mom. So if God's willing, one more year, they'll be married 65 years next year. Yeah. Thanks. You know, I grew up with two rich cultures. I also have a special talent. I can eat sushi and enchiladas at the same time, okay? But I have to say, you know, as growing up, my parents would tell me a lot of the discrimination they faced back in the early 50s because being Japanese and Mexican. And, you know, a lot of places, they didn't want them to get married. So kind of incredible. So obviously, growing up, knowing that, of course, civil rights was something there that, of course, I've always supported, recognizing that everyone there in our city, regardless of race, religion, gender, sexual preference, we're all treated the same. So that's one thing that I have to tell you that I'm really proud about my city of Las Cruces. You know, we all learn a lot from our parents. My dad was only had a 5th grade education because when the war broke out, he was interned in those concentration camps. He wasn't released until he was 16. My mom only had a 3rd grade education because, well, she had to drop out of school and kind of help the family. So knowing that, of course, with my dad being a veteran from 1948, he retired in 1969, we learned a lot. We came from a military family, very proud military tradition, and so every time that we would, once in a while, we'd see a GI, boy, my dad always did everything he could to help them, whether he's, help them with a car or help them, whatever they needed assistance. And so ending veteran homelessness back when we did, I think we were one of the, in the top 10 to do that. That was something there that we did automatically. As I mentioned, my dad only had a 5th grade education, but throughout his time in the Air Force, he was able to take some various courses. He got his GED. He went on to get his bachelor's degree in business, and so that was a huge inspiration for me. I have 3 brothers and 1 sister, and I'm proud to say all 5 of us have at least a college degree, if not higher, and there was a lot of it because of our parents. I think that's one of the reasons why I spend, every year, I've been doing this for now my 9th year, we've been able to, I believe, help increase the graduation rate of all of our children there in Las Cruces. We visit 2,000 children every year, all the 3rd graders, and it's really great. In fact, Mayor Riley made a comment today, and I told my wife, I said, about a month ago or 2 months ago, I said, some guy actually thought I was 100 years old. And that's exactly what Mayor Riley said when they guessed how old he was. He's, 100 years old. I don't know what it is with kids, but they all think we're 100. But nonetheless, that's something there that obviously I learned from. Seeing my parents struggle as a kid growing up. My dad was an enlisted fella, and although he had his retirement wasn't that much, he had to have different jobs to keep the family going, so that he could finish his college education. My mom would actually make clothes. I actually had homemade clothes up until I got my first job. I think talk about inspiration. I love my mom, and she did a great job making clothes. But man, I really wanted my own job so I could have some different clothes that looked a little bit different. But you know what? That's what they do. That's what parents do to make ends meet. And so I think that's that, plus my middle son, we had a project on finance, and it really made me realize how important raising the minimum wage is to our residents. And so those 2 instances really helped me a lot, provided a lot of inspiration to me. As I mentioned, I may have mentioned that my mom only had a 3rd grade education, but you know what? She was my first teacher. She taught me pretty good. In fact, so well that when I first started 1st grade, within 3 days, teachers had recommended that I go into 2nd grade automatically. But my mom said, no, just keep him in 1st grade. She doesn't want me to be the younger, with a different age group. So that's why I support early childhood education. It's so important to help our children as they're growing up, how important education is. So they're our future. We have to do everything we can to make sure that they have the best opportunity to lead our cities, to lead our states, lead our country. I'd like to say that, I've walked a little bit in their shoes, in my constituents' shoes, my parents' shoes, and that really helps me in the decisions that I make. Whether it's ending veterans' homelessness, raising the minimum wage, supporting early childhood development, or working with our school board to make sure that our children have a quality education, or if it's protecting civil rights so that all of our residents are treated all the same. I couldn't do it by myself. Excuse me. First, I have to recognize my rock, my inspiration. That's my wife, Rosie. Thank you. You know, this award really belongs to members of my city council. I learned a long time ago, can't do this by yourself. So I want to take a moment to, I know they're not here, but I want to take a moment to thank them. Councilors Cassandra Ngadara, Greg Smith, who also is my mayor pro tem, fills in for me a lot when I'm not around, Olga Pedrosa, Jack Ekman, Gil Sorg, and Seal Levatino. Also want to thank former councilors that aren't on the board anymore, Sharon Thomas, Nathan Small, Dolores Archuleta, and a good friend of mine who passed away earlier this year, Miguel Silva, who I really miss a lot because we would always joke about a lot of things, and he was a great sport about it. I miss him. And of course, Mickey Ibarra, thank you. And of course, you know, and I'm glad he's still here. In fact, he was the reason why I was late, and that's Marty Chavez. Marty said there's two things, Ken, when you got elected. One, you got to join the Conference of Mayors, and two, you got to get to know Mickey Ibarra, because he's Mr. Washington. Okay, so you know, I told Mickey when he told me about this, I said, you know, I'm really undeserving of this award. When you see Las Cruces at almost 57% Hispanic, when we make decisions, positive changes, automatically 57% of our residents, you know, benefit. I couldn't do it without the many people that I mentioned. I really appreciate this, and I would like to take a quick moment just to read a letter that I sent to Mayor Dyer, who the day after the incident. This is on behalf of our residents in Las Cruces. I never seen so many people who liked it or supported it, tweeted it, sent it out. I didn't realize that there was a contingency of Las Cruces living in Orlando. This was immediately the following morning, and Mayor Dyer was able to respond to this. So I'm going to say this, Mayor, on behalf of my residents in Las Cruces, because, like I said, it was the of all the years I've been on Facebook, this received the largest comments, most likes, and support. It says, Dear Mayor Buddy Dyer, on behalf of the city of Las Cruces and the state of New Mexico, we extend our condolences to the families and the friends of those who tragically lost their lives early Sunday morning, as well as to all of the residents of Orlando, Florida. Please let your residents know that we stand with them and denounce these terrible acts of hate and terrorism. I will be asking the members of our city council to donate a pint of blood as an act of solidarity, compassion, and love. Please let me know if there's anything that we can do to help. God bless your city. Sincerely, Ken Miyagishima, Las Cruces, New Mexico. So with that, Mickey, I'll turn it back over to you, or Mayor Hancock. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor Miyagashima. It's now my honor to present the award to Mayor Buddy Dyer from Orlando, Florida. Mayor Dyer is the Dean of Florida's Big City Mayors, having served Orlando's residents since 2003. During his term in office, Mayor Dyer has worked relentlessly to advance Orlando as a 21st century city and has fought to increase partnerships between Central Florida's many governments, business, and civic communities and its residents. In 2004, Mayor Dyer launched Orlando's Hispanic Office for Local Assistance, HOLA, or OLA, which enables the city's bilingual residents to find access to jobs, housing, healthcare, and educational opportunities. In 2011, he was selected as American City and County Magazine's National Municipal Leader of the Year. The award highlights his work to diversity, Central Florida's economy, strengthen neighborhood safety, and deliver more effective government of the residents of Orlando. Mayor Dyer is leading the effort to create a new breed of high-tech careers for residents in cutting-edge industries such as digital media, biotechnology, aviation, and aerospace. Mayor, I was so happy to hear that you would be receiving this award tonight. In these trying times, please know that all of us in this room and this entire nation are grateful for your leadership. let me reflect on something that you said today. I will tell you that there's no mayor or governor, certainly not the president or member of Congress in this nation, who wants to stand before cameras and have to explain what happened and to update the community on a tragedy. I know you all know and have heard it over and over again that what happened earlier this month was the greatest or largest mass shooting in America's history. But I also understand as a mayor that during those tragic times, everyone in your city, and even those of us who are 3,000 miles away in Denver, Colorado, or in other places throughout this nation, are looking for that one face, that one voice that will give us any kind of hope and something that we can embed our confidence in, that it's going to be all right. And though, Mayor, you had to deliver very tragic information to all of us, the entire nation, and indeed throughout the world, you did it with such power, with such stability, and with such leadership that this entire nation thanks you. We thank you. I want you to know that in Denver, the night following the tragedy in Orlando, some 1,500 people showed up for a vigil. And they wanted to send a very clear message that love trumps all, will always trump hate. And we stand with Orlando tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to honor an amazing leader who I know would not have wanted, would have preferred not to have the events of that fateful June night mentioned. But we're here anyway. And tonight we honor him not just because of that night and the leadership you provided to Orlando and the rest of the nation since, but for all you've done before. God bless you, Mayor Dyer, and congratulations. All right, good job.
It's all yours. Thank you.
Mayor Hancock, thank you for those kind words. I was at one of the prayer vigils, and somebody was very effusive in praising me, and I was sitting next to the minister of the largest Baptist church in Orlando, and I said, you know, I'm not really good at taking this praise, and I get embarrassed. And he said, you can't do that. That's how people show their emotion, and they want to do that. So you need to accept that. So thank you so much on that. So let me just tell you, my youngest son is at University of Colorado at Boulder. So if there's any issues, I know where to call. And also, you'll be happy to know that we just decriminalized, I don't know if you're on that side, decriminalized possession of less than 20 grams of marijuana and made it a citation so that if you have young people that make one mistake in Florida, it isn't on the record for the rest of their life. And Mayor Miyagishima, very deserving award. I offer you my sincere praise as well in receiving that. And I have to tell you that my dad was a rodeo cowboy and truck driver from Florida, and my mother was from Massachusetts. And there's not a prohibition about them getting married, but my grandparents on my mother's side vigorously objected to that. And Mickey, thank you so much. I was supposed to receive this award one other year, and we deferred so that a mayor that was up for re-election could receive it. And he didn't win re-election, but he did walk away with the award. But thank you so much for this honor. And we need to congratulate Mickey. He told me today that he is celebrating the 15th year anniversary of his firm. So congratulations with that. And I'm very proud to receive this honor, certainly because it's from Latino leadership, but also because it bears the name of my good friend Antonio Virgosa. I was there when the night maybe it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when he received this award, and it was renamed after him. So 2012, okay? It was very distinct honor, and I'm proud to accept it on behalf of the citizens of the city of Orlando. And I'm very proud that Orlando is a city that embraces diversity, embraces equality and fairness, and we espouse that in every possible thing that we can do, because not only is it the right thing to do, I'm just going to tell you it's the economic right thing to do as well, because the young, smart people that could live anywhere, they want to live in progressive cities that accept everybody, whether you're Latino or LGBT. And on the 12th at Pulse, it was Latin night, so there were the vast majority of the people that were, of the 49 victims, were of Latin descent one way or the other. But I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said it really didn't matter that it was Latin night. In that club, most nights, it's young Latins of the LGBT community, as you suggested. So it could have been just about any night. But we embrace our Latino community. It's the strongest growing. Mayor Hancock mentioned that we have something called the OLA office. We may be one of the few cities in the country. It's an office set up that has access to every type of service and organization. It has 350 members, and the idea is if you're new to our community and you're Latino or Latin descent, you have a place to come to understand our community and access services, or understand how to register to vote, just everything that you can possibly think of, and we think that's a pretty good model for the community. We also have about 500,000 Latinos Puerto Ricans in Central Florida. When you look south to Florida, you generally think Cubans, right? But our population is Puerto Rican, Mexican, Colombian, Brazilian, and then Cuban. So I like to joke, though, that we have little San Juan relocated right in the heart of Orlando, because we actually have a larger Puerto Rican population than San Juan currently does. How about that? And we have one Latino member of our council, Commissioner Tony Ortiz, who's Puerto Rican. He's Republican. Can you believe that? Did you know? What can I tell you? But I just want to finish by saying thank you to everyone. You cannot imagine how many people have reached out in one way or another. I've not been able to return many phone calls, emails, or texts. Actually, Celeste, would you raise your hand? Celeste Brown is my director of something. She does all the communications. But Mayor, it turns out if I responded to your email, it was Celeste. And I'm sure every other mayor does their own social media, but if I am tweeting, in all likelihood, it is Celeste that is tweeting, because people will ask me, Mayor, you were giving a speech and tweeting at the same time. How were you possibly doing that? What can I tell you? But it's a heartfelt thank you from our community for, yes, the award, but also just the love and support from every city. And it's been so uplifting to see buildings and bridges and performing arts centers and opera halls lit up in the rainbow colors all around the world, and to know that that love and support is there. So thank you so much.
If you'll just give me just 2 minutes to share a couple of items, and we are going to keep the bars open after this program, given the late start that we had. But I also want to thank the former president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, who's deep in conversation with Jerry over here. Don Pluskwalik, former mayor of Akron, is with us tonight. Thank you. Good events don't happen accidentally. They happen because of good teamwork, a good plan and execution. And this event is no exception. I'm so proud of our team. I want to acknowledge Jenny Bonilla, who is the leader of the event coordinator. Jenny, I also want to recognize the members of the Ibarra Strategy Group, and thank you so much, Mayor Dyer, for your congratulations. Now 15 years, the Ibarra Strategy Group. We're joined by Christopher Guerrero, Joel Salazar, Joshua Roboyo, Lali Rivera, and Eduardo Salas, who all helped out with this event. Please thank them for a good job. I also want to thank, of course, our servers here at the Marriott, our really the help here that's been really terrific, led by Amy and others. So please thank the Marriott staff that helped us too. As I say, we're grateful to our sponsors who made this all possible and really provide the resources that enable us to do this work. What's next? The Latino Leaders Network, in addition to 2 tributes, also hosts 4 luncheons each year. 4. We started in Washington. On July 18th, we'll be in Cleveland. So if we have any folks that intend to be attending the Republican National Convention, there'll be an invitation out at the materials table outside the ballroom. We'd ask you to take one. Let us know if we can expect to have you attend. In addition to that, on July 26th in Philadelphia, those that will be in Philadelphia during the Democratic Convention, again, grab a save the date out on the table for that event. Invitations for that event, I believe, are scheduled out next Thursday. We would love to have you join us at either event. There are other materials at the table. Please take a look, take what interests you. And let me just close again, thanking our mayors, our sponsors, all of our guests. We are aware of the competition for your time and attention. And I hope you're glad, as we are, that you showed up tonight. Okay? Thanks a lot. As soon as they can.